Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into decades of research from the Harvard Business Review to build a real-world playbook for great management. If you've ever asked yourself what really separates a good boss from a great one, you are in exactly the right place. We're about to unpack the strategies that can completely transform the way you lead. This is the exact question that was keeping this one manager, Jason, up at night. He was experienced, he was successful, but after taking on a tough new role, he suddenly found himself feeling completely overwhelmed, just full of doubt. It's a question that really gets to the heart of leadership, right? And the answer? Well, it's not just about managing tasks or hitting your numbers. It's about mastering the tricky human side of things, the stuff that actually drives performance. This is all about the journey from feeling totally in over your head to leading with real confidence. So let's start with that manager's dilemma, and we'll see it through Jason's story. Here's a guy who was a star performer, but he steps into this new role and finds a team in chaos, goals that feel totally impossible, and this sinking feeling of being completely and utterly stuck. All that experience he had, it just wasn't cutting it anymore. So what's the first play in the playbook? It's a fundamental shift in how you see things. And for Jason, it was a total game changer. He figured out that before you can manage anyone's work, you have to understand what actually gets them fired up as a person. And that brings us to this incredible discovery from HBR researchers. After they analyzed thousands of daily work diaries, they landed on this. The single best way to motivate people isn't a bonus or a big speech. It's helping them make progress, even tiny little wins, on work they care about. These small wins create this amazing positive feedback loop for our inner work life. So here's the bottom line. Your job as a manager really boils down to this. Every single day, you have to be a force for progress. You do that by providing catalysts, things like clear goals, and nourishers, like a simple word of encouragement. And just as important, you have to be relentless about getting rid of the inhibitors that block work and the toxins that just poison the well. Okay, so you get the power of progress, but to actually make it happen, you need the right tools. And great managers know you can't just use a hair for every single problem. You need a full toolkit so you can adapt to whatever situation comes your way. Check this out. This table lays out 6 different leadership styles from research popularized by Daniel Goleman. A great leader doesn't just stick to one. No way. They might be authoritative when setting a new vision, but then switch to an affiliative style to mend fences on the team. Kind of like the legendary Yankees manager Joe Torre, who built these incredible emotional bonds to get his team through the crazy pressure of a World Series. The key isn't to be one style, it's to have a whole repertoire and know which one to pull out at the right time. Now, of all those styles, there's one that is maybe the most powerful and also the most underused. And that's coaching. This is where you go beyond just telling people what to do and start actually developing their potential for the long haul. And the GROW model is a super simple but really powerful framework for that. Instead of giving the answers, you guide your team members to find their own. You start with the goal, then you talk about the current reality. You help them brainstorm options, and finally, you get them to commit to what they will actually do. It's a huge shift from being the expert to being the person who helps them grow. Okay, let's step into the arena where these skills get tested the most, navigating team conflict. Because look, no matter how great you are at motivating and coaching, conflict is going to happen. It's inevitable. The real key is how you deal with it. So here's something fascinating. Research shows that most team conflicts aren't just this messy cloud of disagreement. They actually fall into one of 4 distinct patterns, or shapes. Is it just one person pushing back? Is it a fight between 2 people? Do you have warring factions, or is the entire team at odds? And this is so crucial, because once you identify the shape of the conflict, you can avoid these really common and often disastrous mistakes. For example, you wouldn't force the whole team into a team-building day if the real issue is with one solo dissenter, right? That's a waste of time. Knowing the shape lets you apply the right solution, not a one-size-fits-all approach that could just make everything worse. So we have the key to motivation, we've got the right leadership tools, and a strategy for handling conflict. The final piece of this whole puzzle is a simple but really profound framework that pulls it all together. Think of it as the operating system for being a great boss. And the foundation of that entire operating system is a growth mindset. I mean, when Satya Nadella took over Microsoft, he knew the culture had to change. His huge transformation was built on this one simple idea. Leaders have got to shift from being know-it-alls to learn-it-alls, always curious, always open. That mindset is what unlocks greatness. And that learn-it-all mindset applies across three core jobs. First, you have to manage yourself, because believe me, your team is always watching to see if they can trust you. Second, you manage your network, building influence with people you don't directly manage. And finally, you manage your team, turning a group of individuals into a real team with a shared mission. And these three are totally connected. You can't succeed at one if you're failing at the others. And here's one final, powerful secret from legendary leaders like Coach Tom Landry. He figured out that the best way to get better performance wasn't to pick apart mistakes over and over. Instead, he made highlight reels for each player, showing them what their personal version of excellence looked like. Because excellence isn't just the opposite of failure, it's its own unique thing in each of us. Your job is to help people see their strengths and turn up the volume on them. You see, a great manager's journey is never really over. For Jason, it became a daily habit of just asking this one simple question. He learned that greatness isn't about some grand gesture. It's about the daily work of clearing the path for your people to make progress, to get those small wins, and to build the kind of momentum that leads to incredible performance.